We're back with another video. We watch the closeout game for Indiana as they beat the New York Knicks. They won 108 to 125. A few interesting things happened this game. Number one, for the Knicks, since it's already on the Knicks screen, Mitchell Robinson was fantastic today. He had another great outing, 4 or 5 from the field, 8 points, but it's really the rebounding, man. The 5 offensive rebounds, kept so many possessions alive, was also still really good defensively, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Has been very impressive throughout this series and the playoffs, just defending in space. He netted out to be a very positive player for them in the playoffs this year. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson, for real. Very impressive what he did throughout this playoff run for the Knicks. OG Anunoby came to play today. He was 10 of 18. Didn't shoot the ball, the best from 3, but he ends up with 24 points. Something I did point out earlier in the game during the stream. Again, if you want to watch the streams with us in the playback room, that link will be in my description. OG was good at attacking some of the smaller players, just putting his head down, getting to the basket, laying the ball up, getting and ones. Like if you saw Neesmith or who else were they trying to guard him with? Sometimes like Tyrese, even Nembhard to an extent. Any one of those like small guards they tried to put on him. Played a good amount of bully ball, getting into the paint, you know what I'm saying, scoring the ball efficiently that way. So shout out to him for that. Mikal Bridges also was very impressive today. He shot the ball efficiently, 6 of 9, 15 points, 2 blocks, a steal. He was very good defensively as far as navigating screens, staying attached to Halliburton for the most part. Quarters 1 through 3, maybe even 3.5. He was really good at that. Indiana was running a series of ball screens, double drags, and all of that, trying to get a defender, trying to get him switched off of Halliburton, and he did a good job of staying attached. Somebody on Indiana did a great job at that as well, but we will get there in a little bit. Now, before we get to the negatives, Landry Shamet was really good. 4 or 7 from 3 in basically 16 minutes of play. He gave you 12 points, 16 minutes. And he was good defensively. Also, Wright, too, DeLon Wright. DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet kind of gave the Knicks some, what's the word I'm looking for? Shocking production off the bench. Nobody really anticipated them having impact on the series, but they played well in their spot minutes. Now, to the negatives and some things that the Knicks might have to address in the offseason. Number one, Karl-Anthony Towns just wasn't good. 8 of 19, 42% from the field. Didn't hit a 3. He missed 4 free throws. He did have 14 rebounds, so shout out to him for that. But this is kind of the thing with Carl just throughout his career, man. He just does some questionable things. He does some questionable fouling, his body positioning sometimes, or some of his coverage plays. You know what I'm saying? If he's in a drop, he's probably in the drop too deep, balls or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? It's like just a lot of mental lapses, bro. Terrible defensive player as well. Just terrible defensive. Bad and drop, can't switch, fouls. Like it's I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with Cat, especially if he's supposed to be your 5. Now the Knicks did adjust later on as the series went along and started him and Mitchell Robinson together, so he didn't have to play the 5. But this team probably peaks offensively with him at the 5, but you just can't do that because Karl-Anthony Towns cannot be somebody anchoring it, especially if one of the guards is also going to be Jalen Brunson, who we'll talk about now. 8 of 18 from the field, 44.5% from the field, 28.5% from 3. Only got to the foul line twice, hit one of them. He finishes with 19 points. This is accredited for me to Andrew Nembhard. Today, Andrew Nembhard was on Jalen Brunson like white on rice. Do you hear me? He was picking him up full court the entire time. Screen navigated his ass off today. Was not allowing himself to get picked off with Brunson. Brunson, some plays, was having trouble getting the ball past half. He's going up against the clock, and something he did routinely. I mean, again, shout out to the whole Indiana team, but he just had to do it the most because Jalen Brunson, brings up the ball for the most part. And again, this is the value of picking up players full court, especially in basketball games. They have a shot clock, right? And sometimes in AAU or something like that, you don't find the value in it because there is no shot clock, or certain states in high school there's no shot clock. In Texas, I don't know, like me growing up, I know we didn't have a shot clock. But once you get to college in the NBA, that picking up full court, bro, with that shot clock, it can just mess up a team's entire offensive flow, whatever sets they're trying to get into, because you've already wasted. I mean, there were a multitude of times today. Brunson or whoever's, dribbling the ball, bringing the ball up, is getting the ball past half at like 16 seconds on the dot, 15 on the dot. And still, that's just getting it past half. They're still not comfortable, right? So it's not even like once they pass half, oh, Nembhard has now, he falls back. No, still a lot of ball pressure even when they pass half. So now we're late getting it to the set because we just barely got the ball past half, you know what I'm saying, with 15 seconds left. Now here's two ball screen actions we've run, but he's not affected by the screens. He's navigating through them. And now you look up, and now Jalen Brunson has the ball, and it's 9 seconds left. It's 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And you've practically done nothing in the possession. All you've done is get the ball past half and then try to screen him off you, and it didn't work. And there were a lot of New York Knicks possessions like that today that just didn't generate good offense. But that's because Indiana made them work. Indiana made them work. They made Jalen Brunson work and really hard the entire night to try to score. Same thing with Cat. And then another player for the Knicks that definitely needs to get talked about is Josh Hart. Josh Hart was basically unplayable in this series for the past, if I'm being generous, 2 games. Game 5 and 6, I want to say. It was shaky for Josh Hart. I got to go back and look at game 5 in the stats, but as the series went along, he was just rendered ineffective. Can't shoot, right? Isn't a great defensive player either, which is something else that kind of got, well, at least my eyes opened a lot more to that fact. Couldn't guard Pascal Siakam at all in this series. Was getting cooked over and over and over again. Too many times where he's lost off ball, he's getting cut back door, pass, layup, not paying attention, fall asleep off ball, wide open 3, his man. So he couldn't guard on the ball, and he couldn't guard off the ball, and he couldn't produce offense. He couldn't score. That playmaking isn't really all that if they're not going to guard him anyway. He looked very mundane, very regular, very average, if not below average, as the series went along. He was not good for the Knicks at all in this series. One thing that was just killing me, and I'm not a Knicks fan whatsoever, but how many times did they just let Indiana get a rebound, quick pitch it head because somebody's leaked out and nobody's back for New York? And that's off of made baskets sometimes, or free throws, or, to be honest with you, it's not too many times where that should be happening to you like that consistent, bro. Why is Indiana always beating you up and down the court? Why is somebody always leaking out wide open? Nobody's back for New York. New York just shot a shot, nobody back. Why? Turning the ball over, loose with the ball, careless with the ball. Jalen Brunson today, 5 turnovers. Mikal Bridges, 5 turnovers. I'm surprised Cat only had 2. The Pacers, I think they scored like 20-some points off turnovers today. Pretty much the game. As for Indiana, good grief, man, look at these shooting splits, bro. I anticipated and I predicted on the panel and on here. Also, yeah, just to let you know, I also feature on the panel on Players' Choice, you know what I'm saying? Just for anybody that watches my videos and isn't aware of that. But I predicted that Indiana was going to come home and shoot the ball very well. And that is, in fact, what they did. If you look at these splits, Nesmith, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Pascal, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Turner, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Nembhard, 6 of 10, 6 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Tyrese, 9 of 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Obi Toppin, 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Thomas Bryant hit 3 threes, 75% from 3. McConnell hit a 3. They finished the game shooting 54% from the field as a team and 51.5% from 3. Not to mention only missed 3 free throws, 84% from the line. I mean, yeah, you're not going to get... You're probably not going to lose too many games if you shoot the ball that well. You're not going to lose too many games if you shoot the ball that well. And that's That's what they've been doing. That's what they have been doing for the past two playoff runs now. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, man. They can really they just become the best shot making team in the playoffs when they enter it. You give them open shots, they're gonna knock them down. That's just what it is. Now there was a lot of flaws in the New York Knicks defense that they were able to capitalize on. One being, Karl Anthony Towns in drop coverage. I mean, that's just something they kept going to over and over and over and over and over again, bro. Even if it didn't lead immediately to like Tyrese or whatever guard handling the ball scoring, or even just the pocket pass, right? Let's say they run a pick and roll, you know what I'm saying? POA doesn't do the greatest of jobs fighting through the screen or getting over the screen. And now the weak side corner is tagging down on the roll man. The guard for Indiana is going to hit that kick out, that skip to the corner more times than not, also. And then the person in the corner is also going to make the shot. Or let's even say they make that rotation, right? They make the skip to the corner. New York rotates, but now your defense is in rotation, and now we're playing got a swing, drive, another kick, three. You know what I'm saying? So even if it didn't immediately lead to a score, that cat drop just led to problems all series. Jalen Brunson trying to tag and recover led to problems all series. This just really, in my opinion, just ended up being not the greatest of matchups. And to be fair to Indiana, they pose this problem for a lot of teams, right? The two teams I'm thinking off the top of my head that are like great matchups for Indiana are like Boston and OKC. And those two teams, to a lot of people, are the two best teams in the league. So that says a lot about Indiana, says a lot about how good they really are as a team, as a collective. I was thinking about the Rockets. I could see the Rockets just because they're very versatile and mobile defensively to switch a lot of actions and live with whoever's on the ball and not have those inherent advantages created, and they get back. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be lacking so much in transition defense. So yeah, I think the Rockets are another one they probably match up well with them defensively. But still, that was what, the second or third best defense in the league this year. Again, naming another elite defensive team. Like if your only matchups are the elite of the elite defenses, I mean, that shows how potent and good your offense is, bro. Very hard team to stop because they're right next to Boston as far as best space team in the league. Like the spacing is ridiculous. All of the off-ball action that they run, ridiculous. And then you have such a willing passer in Tyrese Halliburton. So like if somebody gets free off of a flare screen that they're running, he'll pass them the ball. And now guess what? Advantage created because of a screen, throw it to him for the flare. He probably catches that, uses that momentum to get downhill. Now collapse the defense. Now swing, three. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's another good thing. Having other people that can dribble, penetrate, attack a closeout well, extend advantages, right? Andrew Nembhard, Tyrese, TJ McConnell, Pascal, obviously. Neesmith isn't afraid to, get downhill, attack the basket strong after an advantage is already created. So, very hard team to guard. However, as we now transition to our finals, because the finals has been set, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Indiana Pacers. That will be our 2025 NBA final. I think a lot of people had OKC getting here, before the season. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the season, I had OKC winning the chip and I had Shea winning MVP. As the season went along, I was thinking, you know what? Boston's probably going to win the chip. So then I had Boston beating OKC in the final. But I mean, it was kind of assumed that OKC would get here, right? And shout out to OKC because it's not hard being a team that has, basically all the expectation in the world. Well, now I think about it, did they have all the expectation in the world? Because everybody during the year would turn their camera on or go on a nationally televised show and try to explain to you why the Lakers or the Clippers or Denver would beat OKC. So maybe not all the pressure in the world, actually. But to people, anybody that pays close attention to the sport, I mean, those off season acquisitions of Caruso and iHeart, I mean, that put them and put them exactly where they needed to be. And Alex Caruso's been one of their best 4 players in the entirety of the playoffs for OKC. He's been one of the yeah. Probably after the big three, Chet, J Dub, and Shea. Fourth best player for OKC has definitely been Alex Caruso. So hey man, those all season moves, you get them right, they really help you accomplish the goal that you're trying to accomplish, right? But when you miss, it can get ugly. It can get ugly. But when you get it right, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But to the series as a whole, I have OKC winning this series rather comfortably. In all honesty, I have OKC winning this series in about 5 to 6 games. I'm giving Pacers 1 or 2 games because I do have a lot of respect for their offense. I do think there will be a game or two where, even against the Oklahoma City Thunder defense, where this offense clicks and scores a lot of points. I do think that. I believe that. There will be a game or two where Indiana clicks. And one interesting thing is, in those games, can OKC score enough points to keep up? Like OKC's offense is, it's good. I think numbers suggest it's like top 5. When you watch them play, when I watch them play, they don't look like an elite half court offense all the time. That is far from the truth, in my opinion. In my opinion. Now, when those role players are hitting some open shots, things do look really good because Shea, just as a scorer, is creating so many advantages just off of all of the help that defenses have to play on him. So open shots will be there, but they don't have the greatest conglomerate of shooters on their roster. It's a lot of people that shoot good percentages, but you'll live. Lou Dort, you'll live. Shit. J Dub and Chet sometimes. You'll live. Kaysen, Wiggins, Caruso will live. Knock them down first. Then we'll react to you. Then we might make an adjustment. But if you don't, to me, if I'm Indiana, that's definitely how I'm starting at least game 1. You don't have to show me. I know Sparrow, but that's what the Nuggets did, and they almost got it. They almost got it done. But yeah, I think eventually, as the series goes on, if they are provided those open opportunities, that the Oklahoma City Thunder players will start to cash on those opportunities and hit a lot of those shots. Another thing I'm interested in, because this is elite offense playing elite defense, right? So just want to see how those two things play out on the basketball court. Very intrigued by that. Also, something that I'm paying attention to is just what are Shea's numbers about to look like in this series? Because every star player that has played Indiana this playoff run gets to it. They get their numbers and efficiently. Giannis was like 35. D Mitch had like 2 or 3 40 balls. Brunson had a 40 ball, a high 30 some, another efficient 30. Like it'll be interesting to see what Shea averages in this next series. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Shea is like averaging high 30, 37, 38, honestly. So Shea FC, y'all are about to be able to get a lot of nasty takes off. It's gonna get nasty. I already know. I'm seeing the play from a mile away. It's gonna get nasty. Is there a way Indiana can make this more competitive and or win the series? Here's the only reasoning I can try to come up with. Again, for me, I highly doubt. Right? I do not see that happen. But a few things can go their way, right? OKC, funny enough, even with all the great individual defenders they have, do help a lot. Like them off ball is they're in the gap, right? They're showing help. So can Neesmith and Nemhard and Pascal and Turner hit some of these? Now they won't be wide open because OKC's fast enough to even provide all of that help, right? And then still get at least a good late closeout. You know what I'm saying? But if they're slanting their defense like that to any one particular player, and that weak side corner 3 is there and available often, Indiana can knock that down. Now the question is, does Indiana even have a player that demands that level of defensive attention? Probably not. I don't think OKC has to guard Halliburton like they guarded Ant or Nikola Jokic. Right? I'll have to go back and look and see what they were doing with Ja. right? But I'm sure it was what if I would have guessed. But well, Ja also is not a good pull up shooter, so there's some differences in Ja and Tyrese game. So for me personally, though, do I think what do I think OKC is going to do? A lot of switching, a lot of Chet at the five, to be mobile. iHeart probably, doesn't play that much in this upcoming series, and trust their defenders 101, right? I'm trusting Chet 101 against Halliburton. I'm trusting J Dub on Pascal. I'm pretty sure that'll be J Dub's assignment, right? Taking away Pascal Siakam. So we shall see. Again, if OKC, because OKC's main objective defensively, which is very clear, is guarding the paint and the rim. That also seems to be most elite defenses' concern. I know that kind of like it sounds like duh, but I remember even when Milwaukee was like an elite defense, they allowed a lot of open threes. And you would think as we go along and 3-point shooting is more prevalent as the years go by, that like allowing threes isn't a great thing, but that paint and the rim are still the most important thing. And if you can shut that down, then you have a high probability of being a great defense, even if you allow 3-point shots. And OKC clearly, again, they value protecting their rim and protecting players from getting into the paint. Another thing I'm looking for in this upcoming series is the center matchup. I'm interested in the Miles Turner Chet Holmgren matchup. Which center is going to provide that spacing for their team, right? Who's going to be the better pick and pop player in this series? I think that's going to be important because I don't think OKC is they won't switch everything the entirety of the game, right? I think especially when iHeart's out there, they'll probably run some forms of some drop or something, a hard hedge or something like that. We'll see. But which center is going to be better offensively? I don't even know how much defensive value, especially at the rim, each can provide. Just being that I think OKC is going to be playing a lot of five out, and Indiana plays a lot of five out. So it is like, where's the help coming from for these two teams, right? Do they mess around and put Chet on like Nimhard and try to play percentages and say, hey, statistically, Nimhard is not a great 3-point shooter. So we'll have Chet kind of roam off of him when he can to protect the basket. Because I doubt you roam off of Miles, because Miles is a real shooter. Can shoot the basketball, bro. So, again, me personally, I do have Oklahoma City winning in about 5 to 6 games, and just pretty comfortably, right? Pretty comfortably. I don't think there'll ever be a point in this series where I'm worried about my prediction. Barring injury and all, knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? Barring any of that happening, both teams playing and everybody's active and well and healthy. I got OKC in 5 6 games. But again, I do want to congratulate Indiana for making it to the finals. They haven't made a finals since what, those early 2000 years with Reggie. I know they played 2000 when they played against the Lakers in Jalen Rose purposely injured Kobe that series. Yeah. So it's been 25 years since they've gone to a final. So again, shout out to Indiana. And I want to say it here again. Two small cities or smaller markets, rather. Atmosphere for this final series is about to be insane. Because both hometowns do the playoffs right. Both hometowns are going to be loud. They're going to be it's going to be a ruckus atmosphere. It's going to be college like. They're going to wear the shirts, right? They're going to wear the shirts. They're going to match. So with these fans nowadays, bro, you go to the game, bro, and you see a shirt on the seat when you get there. Put the shirt on. Put the shirt on. It's there for a reason. It's part of the mystique. It's part of home court advantage. Come on, bro. Fans got to be better at these games, bro. Y'all getting too stuck up, sedity and bougie, bro. Go to the game. We don't care about your fit. We don't care about your fit. Put that yellow shirt on. That's what it's about. Gee, bro. So yeah, I'm glad we have two fan bases that are going to make the atmosphere around the game what it should be, because these are the finals. It should be chaotic. It should be loud. I should have to go to my stream volume and turn the stream volume down, right? Because you have stream volume on here and stage volume. I should have to turn it down a little bit because the TV, it's too loud. And I feel like that's going to happen between these two teams. So shout out to Indiana. Shout out to Oklahoma City for providing us with the correct atmosphere for this final. And again, shout out to the Pacers for making it to the finals. They've been incredible in the playoffs these last 2 years. So shout out to them. And shout out to Pascal Siakam, right? Who earned, not was given, but who earned Eastern Conference Finals MVP because he was their best player, you know? He just was. I know a lot of people are trying to compare it to like the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown last year, but respectfully, like Tatum led the Celtics in like every statistical category or something like that. I don't think Tyrese did that. But shout out to his late game heroics when they're up 8, 10, 12 points. Shout out for him for always, closing out games as he does when they're already up 12. Excited for the final. NBA season is coming to an end. We are brainstorming some things to do come all season, so stay tuned for that. Again, make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're dropping. Also, comment for the video. Share your thoughts with me. I will be reading and I will respond. You know what I'm saying? Tell me who you have winning the Pacers Thunder series. And also tell me if you do disagree with me and the voters that Pascal was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Tell me why you think Tyrese Halliburton should have won it in the comments. And again, I will be looking and responding. And again, for all my links, check the description. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and make sure you join the playback room. And until next time, it's been real.